Today's lesson is an area of circles. Please get out your notebook and title your notes and copy down the information that's inside this box here with the formula of area of a circle. Now the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. And just so you know, the radius, r stands for the radius, and pi we're going to say is equal to 3.14. You can also use the pi key on your calculator, but if your calculator doesn't have the pi key, we'll substitute in 3.14. Remember that the radius is 1/2 of the diameter, so in this model here is the radius from the center of the circle to any of its edges. So let's look at the first example. We want to find the area of a circle with a diameter of 20 inches. First I'm going to draw a picture because pictures usually help me visualize things a little bit more. So here's a circle and here is the diameter. And the diameter is 20 inches. Now we just want to know, in order to find the area, we need to know what the radius is. So we know that the radius is 1/2 of the diameter. So from here to here on this blue line, how long is that? So if we take 20 and divide it by 2, we get the radius to be equal to 10 inches. So how are we going to find the area of the circle? Remember the formula from up above. Area is equal to pi times the radius, which we found to be 10 squared. The first thing that I would do is 10 squared, which is 100 times pi, or we could just say 100 times the approximate value of pi, which is 3.14, and when we multiply those two together we get 314, and since we're finding area, it is the unit squared. So the area of a circle with a diameter of 20 inches is 314 inches squared. So let's try a problem that's a bit more complicated. This has many steps to it. First we need to find, first let's read the problem. It says a pound of grass seed covers approximately 675 feet squared. Find the area of the lawn below. So right away we know we're going to find the area of the lawn. Then we want to find the number of bags of grass seed we'll need to buy to cover the lawn. So the second part of the problem, we want to find the number of bags of grass seed that we're going to need to cover the lawn. And then they tell us that grass seed comes in 3-pound bags. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find the area of the lawn. So when we look at this picture, there's two sections. We can divide the lawn into a rectangle and then we can divide this into, which looks like a pie shape, but it's really a quarter of a circle, and I'll show you why right now. Here's a circle. We divide it in half. We divide it in half again. And what do we end up with? We have a quarter. One section is a quarter of a circle, just like we have over here. So we're going to find this area here, what we need to do is find the area of the circle and then divide it by 4 because it's 1/4 of a circle. So a quarter circle is going to be equal to the area of the circle, which is pi times the radius squared, and then we're going to divide it by 4 to find the area of a quarter circle. So first let's find the area of a rectangle, and we remember from yesterday, area of a rectangle is length times width. So that would be 25 times 45, which is, you can use your calculator and check this out. So 25 times 45 is equal to 1,100 125, and that's going to be feet squared. Now the second thing I want to find is the area of this quarter circle. And we're going to use the formula that I wrote down here. Pi times the radius squared divided by 4. So we have pi. The radius squared is 15 squared. We're going to multiply those two together. And then we're going to divide by 4. So I know pi is 3.14, or the approximate value. 15 squared is 225. And we're still going to divide it by 4 because this is only a quarter of a circle. So 225 times 3.14 pi, you can use either key on your calculator, is 706 and a half divided by 4. And when we divide that by 4, we get, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, 176.6, and that is, write this down below here, ran out of room, feet squared. Now we're not quite done yet with this problem. To find the area, we need to add the area of the rectangle together with the area of the quarter circle. So we're going to take and add these two values together. So the total area of the lawn is equal to the sum of 1,125 plus 176.6, which is 1,301.6 square feet. Now, the second part of the question, now we found the area, we want to know how many bags of grass seed do we need? Well, in the first part of the problem, they tell us that 1 bag of grass seed, or 1 pound of grass seed, covers about 765 square feet. So if we take the square feet of the lawn, which is 1,301.6, and we divide it by 607 square feet, 675 square feet, we end up with approximately, we need 1.9 pounds of grass seed. Now the very last part of the problem tells us that when you go to the store, grass seed comes in 3-pound bags. So how many bags are we going to need? We will need only 1 bag, because 1 bag is 3 pounds, and we need just about 2 pounds of grass seed, so we'll have about 1 pound left over. So it's a multi-step problem. We're going to look, I want you to try to find the area of the shaded region to the nearest tenth. So I will give you a minute to stop the video, and you can work on this problem, and then when you're finished, turn the video back on and we'll work on it together. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to find the area of this rectangle. So the area of the rectangle, like we did earlier in the lesson and like we did yesterday, the area of a rectangle is length times width, which in this case is 5 times 10, or 50 centimeters squared. Now, we only want the shaded region, which is this like orangey colored region. So we want to make sure that we are subtracting out this white region. Well, this is not a full circle. What kind of circle is it? It's a half circle. So to find the area of the half circle, we're going to take pi times the radius, which is 2.5, and we're going to square it, And because it's a half circle, we have to divide that by 2. So I'm going to work down here. So we know that pi is 3.14. So we multiply, well, first I'm going to do 2.5 squared, following my order of operations. So now we have 3.14 times 6.25, and that's divided by 2. Now I can punch this all into my calculator. So I have 6.25 times 3.14, and I'm going to divide that by 2, which is 9.8 centimeters squared. Now I want to take out that region. So we're going to have to subtract 9.8 centimeters squared. So we're going to subtract that from 50. So 50 minus 9.8 is 40.2 centimeters squared. That's the area of the orange region. Well, that's it for today's lesson. If you have any other questions, please write them down and bring them to class tomorrow. Thanks, and have a good night.